All right, let's do a little WCW name game. You know, I love doing this in every show. Alan, I asked you a lot of these guys last time, so if I go to Crowbar with one and you have a good story, I've already heard it probably. So I got them
Oh, so you don't want my
certain.
stories? Yeah, thanks a lot, you swinging
I
dick.
already again, if you want to just tell me what first didn't come to your mind, any experience in the ring, outside the ring, good, bad, indifferent, whatever. Crowbar, Hulk Hogan.
I couldn't believe that I was in the same locker room as Hulk Hogan. Uh, Never had to work with him. He was always super nice to me, super great to me. Biggest regret is not getting that picture.
Yep,
Big time. Huge regret.
definitely.
Alan, how about Steve McMichael?
Never had really associated with the guy. Never. I don't even think I ever met him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were in the locker room with him?
Nope. Never met him.
Oh, well, no, not so bad when I picked for you. I'm sorry. Crowbar, Ric Flair. You got the Russell Flair, right?
In a six-man tag, I believe. I believe it was me, David, and Jeff Jarrett versus Flair, Arn, and Nash, I believe. And then
Look at this name
and
dropper. Can you believe it?
I believe. I can't really remember, but I believe it was Nash.
Yeah, I think it was.
yes, if I work with the friggin' guy. Screw you.
He's stirred the fucking pot, man.
Fuck you. I ain't answer no more questions.
You're fucking
Fuck you and your podcast.
But Star Wars is coming on soon. He wants.
That's the title of my clip. When you clip this up, Crowbar says "fuck you" and "fuck your podcast."
Yeah.
Ric Flair. How'd you know?
Great. He was always great to me. At that time, he always thanked me for looking out for David and trying to bring him along. I got to see him again at Ric Flair's last match last summer. I finally got my picture that I didn't get way back when, and it's all about the pictures for me right now. Those things just weren't done when we were coming up, and cell phones really weren't that great back then either. Like you couldn't get a good picture, so you had to carry around a disposable camera or something, which was not convenient.
All cell phones even had the cameras on them. There was only a few.
So I deeply regret not getting my Hulk Hogan pick, but I got my Ric Flair pick last summer, and he was always great to me and super appreciative for helping along with David.
Nice.
And I always bought you a drink in the bar.
Alan, Conan.
Conan was always cool with me back in the day. Yeah, he even was talking about me when me and Bagwell got into it with him and Disc on their podcast. So yeah, Conan was always a cool guy, man. I like Conan.
Alan, Lance Storm.
Lance Storm was great, dude. He's a great guy to work with, man. I wrestled him in Chicago on Nitro, and it was a great match, man. He was, he was just like one of the power plant guys going over stuff, man. It made sure everything was taken care of. True professional, man. Lance, I mean, I know people know he's a great wrestler, but I still don't think he ever got the credit he deserved, man. He was unbelievable.
Absolutely.
As a wrestler, and he was a good person, man. Quiet, kind of kept to himself, but he was a good dude, man. Real good dude.
Bar, Kevin Nash.
Well, we had back-to-back matches with Nash. I guess he liked the way we bumped for him and stuff. He was always super nice, super friendly whenever I was around him. Unfortunately for him, David Flair and I had to beat him and Scott Steiner for the tag titles. But always super cool. Never had an issue with him, and just really cool guy. I will tell a really weird Kevin Nash story. I was in the locker room early, and my hair was knotted up in a fucking hair tie, and I was trying to get it out. I just couldn't get it. He goes, "Here, dude, just you're gonna yank all your hair out of your head. Just let me get it." And he saved my hair from my hair tie. So, but outside of that, real funny guy.
The gentle giant.
Always super nice to me, and I nothing bad to say about him. Great.
Awesome, yeah, I agree with that.
Yep. Great dude.
Alan, What about Tori Wilson?
Tori Wilson, she was always good to work with, man. Story about Tori Wilson, she would always like when we went overseas and stuff, she had like a first class seat. So her and Kidman were dating back then. So she asked me one time if I wouldn't mind trading her seat so she could sit with Kidman. And, I didn't have any problem doing that because if I was sitting in first class, I was happy. So after that, then she always asked me to switch seats with her so she could be with Kidman. So her and I always traded plane tickets. So that was kind of cool. But I actually saw her up at Flair's last match when I was with you, Chris, and she actually remembered who I was, which I was kind of surprised, and she gave me a big hug, and she was really cool. So, yeah, Tori's one of those. For as hot as Tori is, she's more nice than she is hot. Never had a bad experience with her at all. I actually got to kiss her when I wrestled Shane Douglas when me and Paisley came out. So she liked it.
See,
she liked it.
Let's not kid ourselves. She liked it. She loved it.
Let's use the Tori Wilson meter on me. Am I as nice as I am hot?
Dude, let me tell you something. If you were nice as you were hot, you'd be the bigger dickhead than you are now. Hey, Chris, we talked about this. Ace is the only person that I became really good friends with, and I've never met him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We text, we talk all the time, me and Allan. I love the guy.
Never met him in person because let me tell you this: every time I try to meet him, he always comes up with some lame fucking excuse, like a wrestler excuse, like I need you to come up here and fix my refrigerator when I was coming up to Philly. Then his wife stubbed his toe and I couldn't come over or something stupid.
His wife stubbed his toe.
Yeah, something like that. Then I wanted to come up to our autograph signing. He was afraid of COVID, so he wouldn't come up then. And that was even after COVID was over with. He just don't want to meet me.
That's it. We'll do a live one in person. Allan Funk 4.
Yeah, here you
go. Crowbar, Rick Steiner.
Always cool to me, but really never really associated much with him. I from watching him professionally, extremely strong, extremely skilled, but just really never had any extended conversation with Rick. So indifferent.
Allan, how about Stevie Ray?
Stevie Ray was great. He one thing that Stevie used to do, he used to call Paisley a yak, and she hated that. So when he was doing commentary, I'd always go to him and talk and say, make sure you call Paisley a yak at least 10 times, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to call her a yak and stuff. So, but he was, I remember Stevie Ray and Rick Steiner. It's funny you just said that to Chris about Rick. They used to go at each other, and it was the funniest thing in the locker room because you'd see Rick Steiner that looks like a redneck and Stevie Ray that doesn't look like a redneck. Stevie Ray was like for lack of a better word, I got to be careful what I say, grease monkey, meaning, he likes working on cars and race cars, and he's always in the garage. They call guys like that grease monkeys. And Rick was always making fun of him because he was like, dude, you're like a redneck grease monkey laying in the garage working on these cars and shit. And then Stevie Ray's always like, they just kept going back and forth. It was pretty funny. But Stevie Ray was always a good dude, man. Good dude.